All right, Mr. Mullen, since when we were in court, I had asked you to pay, I think, what did I say? One something. Let me pull it back up. Hold on.
No updated payments, Your Honor. What June 1st was the last one.
Okay, let's see.
Well, it's the reason why I haven't paid my child support, because my daughter has actually been with me since I made that last payment after we was in court. And
Okay, so she's still with you?
Yes, she's still with me. I actually had to file a TPO because she was with me for about a month, and then the 4th of July, she went over to her mother's home to get some clothes and a check that was being withheld from her by her mother, and she was attacked by her mother and her brother.
Did they grant you the protective order?
Yes, they did. We emailed everything to the court. Yes.
Oh, you emailed it to us?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's see if we could find that. My clerks may have sent it to me.
We also have a pending case coming up on the 3rd of August.
For the finality of the protective order?
Yes.
So, Ms. Camarillo, what do we do about those cases where there's a pending court order granting dad temporary custody? It's not finalized until they go to court. How does that affect? I mean, I can't put him in jail for not paying, but there needs to be an adjustment or something so it's not accruing. I'll be with you in a moment, Ms. Greer. I'm just asking this general question first.
So he would have to bring whatever he has to our office, and then we would, temporarily suspend. If there's a court order signed by a judge saying that he's got custody, then we will suspend it.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Mullen, that's on you. You have to go to Miller Road. Are you here in DeKalb?
Yes, I am.
And I don't see any updates regarding that.
So you need to send that paperwork, but I need to locate it since you said you sent it to our clerks. And Ms. Greer, I'll be right with you, okay? I'm not going to litigate the TPO. I'm just saying all I'm going to see is that if there is a TPO in place, and if so, the case is going to be on hold in our court. Ms. Starks, did we receive something on the protective order?
I've checked all our emails and I don't see anything.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up. Give me one moment, please.
The protective order is not in place, so that's probably why you all can't pull anything up.
Okay, hold on. I haven't looked yet, so.
Okay.
August 3rd at 9 a.m. Yeah. All right. Well, this case is pending before a judge, so we'll reset the case.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So I'm not able to say anything because the thing about it, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You have a protective order.
I understand about the protective order, but the protective order, I have custody of my daughter. He's not even technically supposed to have my daughter. I have custody of my daughter, not him.
Well, she's not in your.
She's not in my care because he would not return her when I asked him to return her, and then that's when he went and took out a temporary protective order.
Okay, so hold on a second. I understand these things are tense. You have to go to the hearing. I'll reset it and see what the judge says after August 3rd. If the judge orders.
So what about the payments that he has not paid? Because he's only made 2 payments for this whole year. He's undermining me as a parent.
Ms. Greer,
Ms. Greer.
As soon as we'll come back to court on the first week of September, see what the status is on the case. Give me 1 second. So he made a payment in June. He didn't make a payment in July because he's saying that his daughter was with him. I can't issue a criminal warrant on that, especially if a judge grants him temporary custody. So I can't.
But he has not made any payments. He does not even pay for health insurance for her. He's withholding her from her. The daughter is 16 years old. She has to get her cavities filled. She needs to have immunizations done for school. He's withholding her. When I requested him to bring her back home.
Ma'am, Ms. Greer, I can't, as a judge in a little bubble of whether a warrant should be issued for failure to pay child support, while this issue is going on with your daughter between the two of you, I can't issue a warrant. I'm saying I'm going to reset it so I can reevaluate what my options are. If the judge says that temporarily he has a past due amount, you can file a contempt in civil court, but I can't issue a warrant on a past due amount, but you still have the remedy of going forward with the civil order, okay? All I have to do is I have to determine If the judge says denies his petition and your daughter goes back to you, then yes, he has to continue to pay the child support going forward. And so I'm going to reset it so I can see what happened at that hearing, and then we'll go forward in with the case. All right, so we're going to reset it to, they have a hearing on August 3rd. So we're going to reset the hearing for an update. August 3rd is the hearing for the 25th of August. Then I'll be able to determine how to move forward with your concerns, Ms. Greer. So we'll see you guys on the 25th of August.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, Miss Arena Camarillo, am I correct in seeing that there's an income deduction order in place for position 11?
No, Your Honor, they're A payments. He's paying them directly.
All right. So the last time we were here, sir, you're under an order to pay $269 a month. Our payments are showing you paid $95 in May, $113 in June, and no payments in July. So you can unmute, Mr. Smith. I need to hear from you what's going on, because I believe when we were in court last, I had directed you to make the payments twice a month. Let me look at my notes again. 2 payments. Let's see. I have here, dad is working, an income deduction order has been filed. He should pay $145 twice a month until the income deduction order takes place. If dad fails to pay, warrant shall issue. Okay. No payments have been made.
Like I said, I paid $190 this month.
When did you say that? You said that to who? Me?
Oh, it must have been muted, but I'm telling you, I paid $190.
Okay, but let me see what we're.
Let me see if he came in person.
I paid online.
Hold on.
Oh.
This was in May. So on May 12th is when I had ordered you to pay the consistent payments. So then on May 22nd, you paid $100. And then on June, you paid like 120 or something because they take out fees. So that's, neither one of those payments are actual sufficient amounts. And I don't know where the income deduction order is. And then you're saying you paid $190. So what's the statement? You don't see it?
No, June 26th is the last payment we've got. When did he make that payment?
I made it yesterday.
Oh, well, yeah, Sharon, I wouldn't have it then.
I mean, why did you just make the payment yesterday?
That's when I got paid.
Okay, so the money's not coming out of your paycheck yet?
No, I assumed that it was. I checked and I saw that it wasn't.
All right. And so when did you get your first paycheck? Has it been a while?
I just got paid yesterday. I get paid bi-weekly.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that. Can you say that again? You get paid bi-weekly?
Mm-hmm.
And when did you start?
My job?
Yes.
Like a year ago.
Oh. Well, I mean, then if you get paid bi-weekly, why didn't you pay? We came to court in May and I told you to make the payments. You didn't make, and then you made one payment in June, and then now you're making still an insufficient amount, even though for this month, I mean, it has to be, why didn't you pay the full amount in May and June?
I wasn't able to. I had bills, substantial bills I had to pay. I'm just trying.
Well, what do you think she has? You don't think mom has substantial bills that she has to pay?
I can only speak for myself.
Well, she has to take care. Let me see how old the child is in this case.
He'll be 10 on Sunday.
10? Okay.
Yes.
I said I was going to issue the warrant, and then you're just paying the day before we came to court, and that was, well, the end of the month. So you're kind of passing by so that I can't issue a warrant because I have received a payment within 30 days. But I am going to set, I'm just going to share with you that I was going to issue the warrant today. And I'm only giving you one more chance to get back on track. And if you don't get on track, then I just have to issue the warrant. It's not coming out of your paycheck. We're supposed to have the place. Ms. Price, I'll let you know. I just remember this being a case where, honestly, Mr. Smith, I felt that you just felt like you were above
I have a question.
Above the requirement to pay the child support according to how it needs to be paid. So I don't need to issue the warrant. So I gave you a chance. You didn't pay it in May. You paid $100 in May. It's almost like you're kind of spiting the court, and you didn't pay any June, and then you just made a payment in July. So it doesn't go the way you want it to go. You need to pay the payments the way I want them to go as a judge, so I don't issue a warrant. And the payments are $269 plus 20, which is $289. And I've already done this, I'm sure, for you. $289 divided by 2 is $145 or $144.50 every 2 weeks. And it needs to be paid like that. When you get paid, when do you get paid? Generally on you're saying every other week. So there's no reason that you shouldn't be paying the $144.50 every 2 weeks. And it has to be done in the month of August and September. We'll come back in October. If the payments aren't made fully for August and September, then we're just going to go ahead and issue the warrant.
I have a
But
question.
hopefully the income deduction order is taking effect. Yep. What's up?
How is issuing a warrant for my arrest and suspending my license supposed to help the situation?
It's not. But in a case where you have $8,000 past due and you're not providing support for your child, the remedy that we have to do what we have to do to make it step up.
How is
So,
making the hill steeper the remedy?
well, you can go get another job and then you can try to figure out how to resolve your issue that you're a father, you have a child. I'm not going to answer or placate your situations. You're coming across as, of course, it doesn't help lose your license, but if you want to keep your license and be an upstanding citizen, just pay the support for your child. You probably have the ability. Well, I don't know that you are trying. I think that you might need to get a part-time job or something just to help if you can't. I mean, I don't issue warrants freely unless I see a person's really kind of rebutting me or just trying not to step up. And so
I haven't did anything but just try to pay the child support with the best of my ability. I haven't tried to bud anything. I don't understand why where you getting that from. I'm just paying the child support with the best of my ability. I've been trying to get a part-time job. It's not like I'm sitting here with no desire to pay. I want to pay. I want my child to be supported. I don't understand how I'm getting vilified for this.
well, last time in court, you didn't present very well to me. And I gave you a break and told you I would not issue the warrant, even though it's been time since the child support was paid. And some of the language that you attempt to use and what you present to the court, to me, you're coming out as, you're going to get from me what you get. Now, if that's an untruth, then fine. I'll work with you, but you have to step up and pay closer to what your actual child support is so I don't have to issue the warrant. So at this point, it's $144.50 every 2 weeks. If you want to break it up, weekly, if you can get a little side gig, then it'll wipe out all that past due. I agree that suspending a child support doesn't make sense, but in my opinion, as a judge, if you're really only doing bare minimum, then I find that you have the ability to pay and you're really not paying. And that's what I'm finding in this case. But I'm going to go ahead and mute you for a while. Our conversation is over. I'm expecting $144.50 twice a month. And then the case will be dismissed when we come back in October. If you can step up and make that payment. If you have a credit card, you can put it on a credit card and pay your credit card back. There just has to be consistent payments. That's all. Ms. Price, is there anything that you'd like to comment on other than me trying to move forward to get this? I don't know what type of job that or
I just need the help with taking care of my child. I've been calling child support to see what's going on with the income deduction order. They said they sent it twice, and him paying on his own is not getting it done.
yeah.
What's the status? It's not working.
No. What's the status?
I'm looking now.
Okay.
It looks like it was sent again July 6th. So it would take about 6 to 8 weeks for that to go into place if that's going to be effective.
Why
They
was it?
sent one in May, they sent one in June, and this is the one for July.
What is going
That's
on?
last payment. Did you request that the case was closed on
Hold on, Mom. Hold on, Ms. Price. Go
on
ahead.
June 20th? Did you request that the case be closed?
Ms. Price? Unmute.
No, I haven't. No.
Okay. It says June 20th, there was a phone call with you where you requested case closure.
No, that wasn't me.
Wow.
Okay. Let me see. Well,
You
they
look
never,
at the
it has not been,
notifi-
it's not been put in.
the notifications on my end.
Okay.
I call them every week. I call
Yeah, well, don't
every
miss
other week.
Ms. Price, don't do that. Don't
So I
call
do
every
show
other
that they
week.
keep sending the FIW.
So why is that? So what I'm hearing is, does he work for himself or something, or somebody's paying him? This doesn't make sense that we would send 3 FIWs and no money's coming out in 3 months.
Yeah, I'm showing.
Mr. Smith, come back on for me, please. Ms. Price, I'm going to mute you. Okay, Mr. Smith. Sir, where do are you actually employed with an employer that takes taxes and everything out of your paycheck?
Yes.
Yeah, they've sent it several times. We're not showing a response. The most recent one, we wouldn't have a response to yet, but the
Okay.
one on June 7th, we would have had a response by now.
All right, Miss Arena Camarillo, I need you to get the exact name of his employer. Mr. Smith, do you have a shirt on?
No, that's why I'm trying to just show my head.
We're in court. Why don't you have a shirt on?
I
Could you
just, I mean, I was taking a shower, it was taking along when you unmuted me, I was just getting out the shower.
Okay, well, you could go ahead and put your camera on because we're going to be a few more minutes and go put a shirt on for me.
I will
please.
say too, they've tried to contact the employer and they were unable to speak with anyone to obtain a fax or email address.
Yeah, something's
So maybe
right here.
seeing the pay stub would be helpful if he could send the court a pay stub real quick.
Okay, well, hold on. He's going to go put a shirt on. I'm going to let you go in because I don't want to expose his information. I'm going to put you in a breakout room with him just for a minute to see if he could present us a pay stub. Okay. All right. Let me wait for him to come back.
Yeah, they sent it in April too.
That's crazy. Something's awry.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. All right. So we're trying to figure out why your employer is not responding to the income deduction orders that have been submitted since April. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room because we're on Zoom. I don't want to air your personal information. And so Miss Arena Camarillo, do you have a pay stub by any chance so we could figure out what's going on and why they're not just, I mean, all this would be done if they could just take the money out of your paycheck. But I'm
That's what I've
concerned.
been waiting on this whole time.
So what
Yeah.
she's asking is when we go in that breakout room, I'm going to give you my email address and you're going to email me a pay stub. I want to make sure we're on the same page before we go in there. That's what I'm going to ask you for.
Me?
Yep.
You say you want me to do what?
We're going to go in a room and you're going to email me a copy of your pay stub.
Okay, I have to see if I can do that. I don't even know where to begin. I have to figure that out.
Okay, so let me ask you this. When you receive your paycheck, do you receive it to like ADP on your phone or do you receive an actual check?
It's the ADP, but I would have to talk to my employer because I'm not signed in. I just get my direct deposit coming straight to my account, my bank account.
So
But
you don't know how to
I would-
open up your ADP account?
Yeah, well, I don't like when I started the job. My boss, I didn't have to do anything like that. He just hired me. He told me that it was going to be a direct deposit. I gave him my bank information. I get a direct deposit. I work for La Quinta Inn Hotels.
And that's under Docket, Georgia Lodging.
Yes,
Yeah, that's what we've been sending it to.
I've been there for almost a year, and I've been waiting on it. I've been waiting on you guys to take it out, so I don't have to worry about it.
Do you have a telephone number that we could reach? Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about any of this if we could take it out of your paycheck. Do you have a number to HR or anybody with that company that you work for?
Hold on, I can give you. Hold on.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the last case. You guys can go back in the waiting room just for a minute while she calls to see if she could reach the HR department to find out why they're not just, it helps you, it helps everybody. It just comes out of your paycheck, but they're just not responding. It may be a small business and sometimes they don't. So go ahead and put Mr. Smith and Ms. Price back in a breakout room, and then I'll give Ms. Arena Camarillo opportunity to call to see what's going on. And otherwise, but just before we finish.
Your Honor, that's the general number to the hotel that he mentioned. Does he have an employer?
That's the number. That's the number that I call when I need issues, when I need to talk to the general manager. That's the number that I call.
Right. When I call it though, when you type in La Quinta Inn and Suites, what you just said, that's the number that comes up, 404-321-0999. So when I call that, I'm going to be sent to an operator. I'm going to be sent.
You're gonna No, you're gonna talk to the front desk and just tell them your situation. They should send you to the general manager. Whenever I call, I talk to the
Yeah,
front desk.
just ask for the GM. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna put you guys in a breakout room. Not you, not in a breakout room, put them back in. But before we finish that, I'm technically what I'm doing is expecting the payments to be $144.50 starting in August, consistently twice a month. We'll reset the case in October for review. If everything is fine or the income deduction order is kicked in, then I'll decide how to proceed at that time. But I have to see the $144.50 times 2. And then we're going to reset the case for October 27th. And I'm going to wait to see if we can hear from the GM and find out why the income deduction order isn't processing. So we'll be back with you guys in just a moment, please. But just go ahead and make a note of the court date on Friday, October 27th. Okay, we could go ahead and put them in the breakout room. I'm sorry, the waiting room, and let's bring in who lives in Decatur. Not sure why this is online. This is an establishment case, which means there's not an establishment. Mr. Verdon, can you come on for me, please? Start your video.
I'm driving, so I was trying to pull over.
Okay, all right. I'm going to mute both of you while you're driving. So there is no child support case yet, Ms. McAllister. Is that correct? You can unmute.
So there's a misunderstanding. There's an open case, but it's not an order. On April 4th, when I spoke with Ms. Cooper, she asked if I had an open child support case, and I advised her that I did. I provided her with the information, but now
we have to have an order of child support.
Right, I understand that now.
Yeah, and so let me wait for the attorney to come back and see what the status is, because has he been avoiding service or something? Because this shouldn't be on a calendar.
No, ma'am. I went on July the 6th to paternity, all the paperwork done.
Oh, okay, so you guys are just.
I was ordered to go, so the paperwork.
So
yeah, so the paperwork is in process of going back to Ms. McAllister.
So this is a 9-year-old child that we're just now opening up a child support case for? What's going on, Mom? What happened? Did you guys, hold on, Mr. Verdon, did you guys live together or something? And
no, we never lived together. The first 4 years, he wasn't aware. The last 5, he has been.
Okay,
so the first 7 years, the child was thinking that she had another father. So it wasn't the first 4. Okay. So that's why I said it's complicated. You said you didn't want to hear those details, but it's a little more in-depth.
I get what you're saying. Okay, so you're just finding out the child may or may not be yours, somebody else may have been. So you have to do the DNA. If the DNA comes back, then you guys will work out the child support case. Yeah, this case should not have been on the calendar. I'm not sure why it is, but that's okay, because you guys have to finish that whole process. If he comes back that he's the father, then at that point, sir, child support. Wow, but child support will have to determine, what the support is for the child, and then I guess you have to get to know him if you don't know him that well, but that's not for this court, for this state. So this is a criminal case, and the case is not right because it's pending an establishment case after DNA is returned. Okay, so I'm not sure why you filed an abandonment warrant, Ms. McAllister. Maybe because he can't.
Well, the DNA had already been established in 2021. And he was making payments to me. He agreed to make payments to avoid this, to avoid even having to be on child support. And in December of last year, he stopped. And
oh, okay. So the DNA, you already have a private test showing that he's the father?
Absolutely. I provided that to your courthouse.
Okay. And so, Mr. Verdon, I guess what you guys are doing, you have to go through the legal part of establishing a child support order. Miss Arena Camarillo did confirm with me that he has acknowledged service, so they're going to go forward now to actually establish a child support order. But Mr. Verdon, in the meantime, if I were you, if you know that this is your son, because the DNA came back in 21, do you agree that it confirmed that this is your son?
It's a daughter, by the way, but
daughter,
the place that we went to, I kind of had, I was skeptical about it, so I really wanted to just get it officially done by the state, so I know 100% factual. But I did what I was assisting her. We had a blowout. And then I said, well, let's just do it in court, and that way it'll be on record and documented.
Okay, so the attorney is trying to handle a case before I brought you all on, and she's saying all the parties have to be there. Let's see, she says he has acknowledged service, so the case is moving forward. And she said let her know they all have to appear for DNA testing, that they're not accepting what was provided. They have to do their own test.
I went last week, my daughter and I. So if we're
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, then it's going through that process. You guys have to finish that process. Once you get an order, if he fails to pay in 30 days, then you could file a criminal warrant. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You guys are both excused. Have a good day. Thank you for already following through with everything. All right, sir, you're excused. I've already given the directive to pay the $144.50 twice a month, starting in August. And so we're going to reset the case to October to review. But what do you think should be done? I mean, yes, you shouldn't be trying to track down. He said he's told them what the information is. You're submitting it. It's not getting done. So go ahead, please.
I think that at this point, and I'm still on hold, Mr. Smith. I've been on hold the whole time. I think that he needs to go to his general manager. He needs to get the address where this information needs to be sent, the name and the address, and he needs to bring it to our office. And that, I have the front desk now. Said the general manager was not there. So.
All right. Well, I told him what needs to be done. If we can't, he can track down who needs to be. Mr. Smith, come back in court, please. Mr. Smith, it's going to be your responsibility to help track down who is a proper person to submit the income deduction order information, because they're not having luck and they've submitted it. So if you could help determine who the Human Resources Division is for the place where you work, and you need to provide that to child support by the 15th of August, so that they can get the income deduction order done by the time we come back to court. Until it comes out, you pay the $144.50 every 2 weeks, and we'll see the updated status. Hopefully we've been able to do everything, do everything that goes well, and we could get the income deduction order started, but you're going to have to do the legwork because they're submitting it and it's not being accepted. And that's been since April, and that's unacceptable. So, okay, I expect $144.50 every 2 weeks. And we will see you guys when we come back to court in October. And that's where I'll make a decision how to proceed. All right. So, sir, you understand, Mr. Smith, you have to try to find the address of where the income deduction order needs to be submitted in the proper name. And then at that point, we'll start the income deduction order, and hopefully it could be started before we come back to court, but you just pay until then. Any questions, Mr. Smith? Okay, Ms. Price, you see the process, so we'll see you in October, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day, both of you. Have a nice day. You're both excused from court. And that concludes our proceedings.